So I went ahead and hit it with some 220 just so I could see my low spots. You can see this one is really bad. This is probably the worst one. The rest of these are kind of just indents and stuff. There's also a pretty rough spot here. I don't know if it'll show, but what I'm doing, I took the DA. I'm going to take all this to bare metal. I'm going to smooth this out. I've got the hammer up in here and banging this part out. It's actually a lot better than it was. You can see where it's starting to kind of crease back out, but I'm gonna try and get as best as I can. I don't really like having a excess amount of Bondo on there, so we'll see how it goes. So I've put about 2 layers of Bondo on it at this point. You can see it's definitely rough. This is my first time using any Bondo, but I've got 2 layers on there. I kind of see where my low spots still are. I also see where my high spots still are. And then of course here, I'm using a block sander and just kind of matching this with the door. And you can see it's starting to fill in a little bit better. It's definitely a lot straighter than it was. I just need to keep kind of going at it. So we'll see what happens. So the 3rd layer of Bondo I just laid on. You can see I kind of put this one a little thicker just to fill in some of these low spots here. You're probably going to end up having to do another layer anyways. But yeah, we'll wait for this to dry and then I'll sand it some more. So I still got some rough spots here, but the main thing I've been focusing on is this gap. This was actually all dented in, even into here, which you can see it's still a little low here because this dent went all the way through. But the body line is pretty straight how it sits now. So I'm gonna just keep that going. And you can see that dent's pretty much gone. There's a couple low spots here. I think one more layer of body filler and we're gonna be good there. Then I just need to follow this line all the way down. All right, so I've got that pretty smooth. There's definitely some spots I'm going to touch up tomorrow. So I'm not done bondoing and sanding, but I think I'm gonna lay some primer over this and just see where we're at. You can see the dent is all the way gone and the line in there looks pretty good. I do need to kind of fix some of that, but it's definitely going to be a process. I think I didn't put enough hardener in that last coat because there's some pinholes and it wasn't sanding as smooth, so we'll see. All right, so I laid the primer on. Definitely still rough. I mainly just wanted to put primer on it because there was bare metal and I needed to cover it. But you can see where I didn't sand as good as I needed to. And then here, I don't know if you can see, but there needs to be more filler in this area so that I can make a hard line coming down. And then a little bit of a low spot still here. And then of course this I need to sand more. And I'll just show you, this is the hard line I'm talking about. This goes all the way down to there. So it's day 2. I didn't get to do as much today. You can see I layered on some Bondo on this edge and I'm starting to kind of finish this line out. It doesn't look great now, and again, I am new to this, so not doing probably the best I could, but really just trying to get this edge followed through. And this is a lot better than it was. You can see I've already got some of the primer sanded down, but starting to think I might actually end up just sanding this whole car and we'll lay some paint on it sometime after I get the car on the dyno and running. So we'll see what happens. So day 3 of doing some body work on my IS, and you can actually see we have the beginnings of an actual straight line here. You can see there's definitely some spots I need to touch up. I'll close the door. You'll see it's definitely not pretty looking, and I'm starting to feel like an idiot doing this, but it is looking better, so we'll just keep going at it and see what happens. I also started sanding the hood just because there are tons and tons of rock chips in this paint, and I think if I'm going to paint the car, I'm going to go ahead and start doing the body work anyways. You can see I've already laid some primer over it, and I have put body filler in a couple spots just to fill some of those deep rock chips. There was also a really nasty dent on the front hood that I repaired and it's not super visible. I think you can kind of still see it's a little low there, but you wouldn't be able to tell now probably unless I pointed it out. But pretty much what we're doing is just getting the car straight, so that way when it comes off the dyno and we can drive it, I'll go ahead and start making it look good. But yeah, so I think this is a good stopping point for today. You'll see I've got a body line pretty much ran down. It's just a little uneven, so I need to do some more blending and more shaping, but that is so much better than it was. Now don't worry, trust the process. It's gonna end up being one color again here soon. We just got to get the car on the dyno, make sure that it runs and drives good, and then we'll start worrying about how it looks. But I figured I'd go ahead and start on the bodywork since I really don't have anything else going on. But yeah, I'll go ahead and tackle the hood tomorrow a little bit. And I've also got some other things we're gonna do tomorrow that I'll go ahead and show y'all. All right, so we've got a little bit of work done to the Lexus over here. As you can see, the hood is still primed. Bear with me, it is like 95 degrees outside. But as you can see right here, the car is still kind of just sitting in some primer. Probably won't really get the body work done till after the car comes back from the dyno, which I am hoping to do soon. You can see a little bit more of this has been done. I just need to fix this line, and you can tell the door is a little low right there. You'll also notice I'm sitting on some different wheels. So I did sell my setup that I had, the Revolve AVPD 1219 wheels that I had. They just weren't what I was looking for going forward. So I did trade them, and I got some 350Z wheels to sit on until I get my new setup. So this is not a permanent setup, this is temporary. But let me go ahead and show y'all the biggest thing that I've changed. So as you can kind of see before I even open the door, I now have a tan suede interior. Ignore that, that's just wire splicing. I'm doing some wiring in here. But yeah, tan suede seats, front and back. You can see these are in really good shape too, a little dirty. We'll clean that up. You can also see the door cards. I did vinyl dye these, but it turned out not to be the same shade of tan that I was looking for. So we're gonna figure something out with that. It doesn't look awful, but you can definitely tell it's two different tans. So we'll fix that sometime in the future. But yeah, I had to drive 6 hours round trip to get these seats. They were kind of a good deal, so I just went ahead and picked them up. You can see here, everything looks good. The only problem I'm having with this one, which isn't plugged in, is the wiring harness is not the same. So I'm gonna have to figure that out when we get to that point. So that's gonna be pretty much it for the video. Hope you enjoyed. Probably not too much of an informative video. Again, I'm just kind of showing y'all what I'm up to with the car. You can see here, it's a little better. Definitely not the finest work. I'm sure the title of this video will say like idiot does body work or something, which it kind of is true. But I do need to raise coilovers up so we can get on the trailer, and also these Z wheels kind of fit weird, so just enough to get them rolling. Those are brand new Toyo 255s in the rear, so you can see the fitment is kind of crazy on them, but it's definitely weird seeing the car in primer, but I know that in the end it's going to look pretty good. So I do have a color in mind, but I'm not going to spoil that just yet. So that's going to be it for the video. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and stay tuned.